So, I think the Chinese people suffer from multiple character disorder, but not exactly. I think they suffer maybe 10% of multiple character disorder because of the ESP. They have they have a character which they grew up with, but in their mind they have multiple characters because they have all these ESA ties. So a Chinese person in Korea says, "I was born in Seoul," but obviously he's not. He wasn't born in Seoul. He was born in China, but he says it as if he was really born here, and he believes that he was really born here, and he assumes the position until I come and I say, "You're not Korean. You're Chinese." Or they look at this video and they say, "Here, you're not Korean. You're Chinese." Then they have to face up to the fact that they're Chinese, right? But they could easily go into the multiple character disorder of being Korean, probably because of the ESP, and they really don't want to be Chinese. They want to be Korean. So there is a multiple disorder, not 100%. Whereas you're A person and you're B person, and you switch like that, but they do it with the ESP, right? Because there's multiple characters in their head with the ESP. Usually a person is a person because of a part of mom, dad, family, siblings. You become a person because of who you are, what you have become because of people around you. But the Chinese, you become a person with the ESP, who you are influenced through the ESP. I think that's the problem with the Chinese people, and the problem with the American people is God complex. They really, 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 really believe their God, right? Maybe in their God in their mystic, myst, in their way. But in the Bible it says you could only be God if the Holy Spirit testifies that you're God. Only Holy Spirit testifies you're God. You're God. But people in the fantasy have different definition. In different religion, they have different definition of God, right? If you're powerful, you have a lot of money, or you're a high person, I don't know, in some nation, or you're a good sports star, then you call yourself God. But in that definition, you might be God. But in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, it says only if Holy Spirit, another God, testifies that you're God, you're God. So Holy Spirit testifies, I'm God. Nick is God, so I'm God, and there's the voice, which CFC hears, and FBI, CIA, part of FBI, CIA, they hear, and people all over the world, they hear the voice of Holy Spirit. So it is a testimony saying that Nick is God, and the end of the world has come. But I think the FBI people, CIA people, I think they have their definition of being God. They truly believe they're God, and if you know Nick is God, I'm God. If Nick sends me to lake of fire, that's where I'm gonna go because I'm God. My definition of God. I think I already talked about that in the mysticism, right? They believe in the mysticism, right? Maybe the CFC, maybe they think they're God, but not. Chinese form of God is different. It's it's a lot lower. It's a lot lower, right? It's a lot lower. American definition of God is higher. It's as high as the Bible God. Chinese definition of God is low, right? Low. It's maybe magical, maybe it's not low. So their delusional and their derangement of their mental status a lot worse with the FBI, CIA, the American people. But I think a lot of not only with FBI, CIA, but I think everybody that works at the IR Center, they have that type of sickness. But if they keep working after after November 10th, I just have to conclude that think there's some type of mystical mysticism, like a definition of God, and they that's the one thing I have to conclude. Right? The reason I say that is because, again, with the 5 star, he knows who he is. He knows he's Chinese. He knows he's probably he has a name. They gave him a name that has a lot of value. Maybe his family is rich, or family has a long tradition of being high level. So he got this name that signifies that he has a long tradition of being a high class person. But I think that he definitely knows who he is, right? But I think maybe a lot of people there, or a lot of people that was at the Nate Egypt, I think they suffer multiple character disorder. They go in and out, in and out. Me too, right? Me too, right? Sometimes what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And I realized that I had blanked out, or I had lost my track of my thought. In a short time, I had become a different person than who I am. Right? So that's I have to talk. I have to. But if I say, oh, I kind of blanked out. I'm writing something. I forgot to write something. That means I blanked out and I lost track of my memory, and I suffered that for like split second. But if that split second is like 2 second, 5 minute, 10 minute, a year, 2 year, then somebody asks you, "Are you Korean and Chinese?" And he says, "I'm Korean." Then the person has totally flipped to a B character and A character. He has become Chinese, from a Chinese person to a Korean person, right? Because of the multiple character disorder, right? But and they truly believe that Koreans, they have gone blank. They have shut down. They have blocked their previous life history to become a Korean person. But if you ask a person, "Are you Korean or Chinese?" and he says, "I was Korean, but now I'm living in Korea as Korean," then he has less of that disorder. But then I looked at the higher form of disorder, right? And there is God complex, and I think I talked about this already. They're suffering from wrong definition of God, right? Only another God could testify that another being is God. Only a God could testify another being is God. Other humans, each other cannot testify they're God or not God, or Bill Gates is God because he has so much money, because he he created Microsoft. That doesn't make Bill Gates God. This is the reason why I say the religion Christianity and the Bible is the greatest book in the world, because it has the best definition of what is God or what is not God.